Look at that smoke ring on the outside edge right there. Wow. Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer, and this is Brody here in the farm kitchen on the Stoney Ridge. You ready for me to put you down, buddy? Welcome back to the farm, guys. Today we're gonna show you how to cook the poor man's brisket. We're gonna take these chuck roast and we're gonna make the most awesome, flavorful deliciousness that you've ever had with our Z-Grill smoker grill. So come along today, we're gonna show you a super simple recipe that will blow the socks off anybody that tastes this when they try it. You're gonna love this. Stoney Ridge. Farm, Stoney Ridge. Stoney Ridge Farm. Woo! Okay, folks, I did wash my hands, just so you know. I get a lot of flack for not washing my hands after I handle one of the pets or one of the animals. I've been out moving cows all morning long, and this is our farm fresh beef right here off the Stoney Ridge farm. These are chuck roasts, so absolutely gorgeous grass-fed beef. I encourage you guys, if you're gonna do this, try to find a good cut of grass-fed beef if you possibly can. I advocate for beef that is raised on pasture, not in feedlots. So this is what we have. We've got 3 chuck roasts right here, and these chuck roasts, this one's about 2 pounds, 2¼ pounds, this one's about 2½, and this one is about 3.41 pounds. It is a monster, but don't worry, they're gonna shrink up. You can get into a chuck roast a whole lot cheaper than you can a gigantic brisket, and sometimes a brisket could be 15, 18 pounds, and you get sick of eating brisket after that amount of time. Now, if we're gonna fire the grill up, we might as well do 2 or 3 of these, and that way we have plenty to eat throughout the week. We're gonna show you, again, the poor man's brisket, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna season this with some pretty cool seasonings, and we'll give you some ideas of what you need to season yours with. We're gonna put them on the smoker grill, whether you use a Traeger, a Z-Grills, a Pit Boss, or your own offset smoker. This is what you need to know. You need to put it at 225 degrees until the temperature reaches about 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Once we do that, we'll take these and we'll wrap them in aluminum foil, and we'll put a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder, and a little bit of minced onion in here with it. If you have fresh onions, put fresh onions in there. This is going to be fantastic. The first 2½ hours or so, it's going to be open in the smoker. The next 2½ hours or so, it's going to be wrapped up in the smoker, and we're using the competition blend from Z-Grills. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll show you how we put the seasoning on. Before we go any further, guys, a huge shout out to AG1 for helping support this awesome content that we're able to bring you. AG1 is a nutritional drink that I drink every single day. I incorporate this into my daily habits. In case you don't know, I recently lost almost 85 pounds. I was turning into a fluffy dude, okay? So I started changing my lifestyle. I started trying to source real food, whole food, and AG1 was there when I needed them. And AG1 has 75 whole food sourced ingredients, minerals, vitamins, probiotics. It's absolutely awesome. It's something I incorporate into my daily routine every single day, guys. So set your intentions with AG1. It's something that is good. I do think it's delicious. There's a link down the video description, athleticgreens.com/Stoney Ridge Farmer, and you can get some free stuff. Click that link, check it out. AG1, it's absolutely delicious. And again, I incorporate this into my diet every day to help me with energy, to help me with clarity, to help me with focus, to help my skin. It just makes me feel better. Now, we've got a lot more to cook, but there'll be a link down in the video description. It's athleticgreens.com/Stoney Ridge Farmer. Click that link and you'll get some cool free stuff from AG1, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me. And again, thanks to AG1 for supporting rural content here on social media and making me feel better. Let's get busy cooking. So this is a super simple process, guys. You can use mustard as a binder, but we're not gonna use mustard as a binder. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of this coarse grained salt, that's what it looks like, and we're gonna put it on the meat here. And we're not gonna salt it very liberally, but you gotta remember, this is a very thick cut of meat. So we're just gonna lightly dance this salt right over top of every surface of this meat. Just a light sprinkle, okay? You don't wanna over salt it. You can always add a little salt after the fact. Just a little salt, and we're gonna repeat this process on all 3 cuts of meat. As that sits there, that will help pull moisture up out of that and help your marinade or your rub to stick. So you don't need a binder when you've got a little bit of salt and a little bit of moisture. So salt pulls moisture. If you don't know that, salt follows water. And this is, again, just a measuring cup. A little bit more salt on that thicker piece. Set that guy to the side. And then this last piece right here, come on, buddy. We want to start cooking this almost at room temperature. We don't want to start cooking this when it's freezing cold from the refrigerator, so set it out for about 30 minutes or so prior to cooking. Don't set it out for 3 hours prior to cooking or you'll get sick. Okay, be smart. Use smart cooking practices. Okay, well, a little bit of salt, just like so. Okay, and then we're going to go back over. We're going to do a dusting of black pepper. Very, very simple. Guys, salt and pepper is really all you need in most cases. But we're going to put a special kind of rub on here, and you guys can choose your favorite rub if that's what you'd like to do. A little salt, a little pepper. Make a mess in the kitchen. Have some fun. Do this with the kids. Let the kids do it too. Okay, get this guy. Just a light dusting of black pepper. We don't want to overpower the flavor, but we want it to have quite a delicious flavor. We're really seeking out that awesome smoke, and we'll show you that here in just a minute once we get this all cooked up. This is about a 5-hour cook, so put it on in the morning on a Saturday, and 11 o'clock in the morning, go out and do your chores and come back in, wrap it in foil, and come back later that night, and you'll have yourself something absolutely delicious. A little baked potato, a little salad, and then you'll have plenty of leftovers for days to come. It's never as good as when it first comes off that grill and it's rested just a little bit. So you see, we covered all sides. So experiment a little bit. This is called 3 Beers Smoking Chipotle Rub. I do like it. I'll post a link to it down in the video description. And what you need to know about rubs versus salt is a rub like this has about 150 milligrams of sodium. If you look on the back, you'll see all the information you need to see. So 150 milligrams of sodium, we've already put just a little bit of salt on here. If we use something like these seasoning salts right here, we're getting 350 to 380 milligrams of sodium per serving. So you want to be sure that you're thinking about that as you put your rub on. So we're going to go ahead with the Smoking Chipotle from 3 Beers. Again, there'll be a link down the video description. I've used this on several occasions and I really like it. We're going to give it a liberal dusting. We won't need to add any more salt to this at all, but we will add some more flavor once we wrap it. So we want to get some oniony, garlicky awesomeness going on. You could just use garlic powder, salt, and pepper on this. This guy is ready to go to the grill. Let's show you another rub that I really like. So with this little guy, this is from my local butcher shop, Town and Country Meat Market. It's prime rib steak seasoning. Absolutely delicious. This only has 74 milligrams of sodium in it, so we're going to go pretty heavy on this. It's a little more coarse than the 3 Beer. That rub is just going to be awesome. That prime rib smells so good too. Last but not least, we're going to try something different with this one too. We're going to use our Montreal steak seasoning, which does a fantastic job also, but again, you need to think about the salt content of your Montreal steak seasoning. Seasoning has 180 milligrams of sodium, so it's not much more than the other rubs, but we'll have to go just a little bit lighter with the Montreal steak. Just like so. Pat it. Reason I'm doing 3 is if you're going to fire the grill up, you might as well not waste energy. Go ahead and cook a week's worth of delicious meat. Now we've got everything seasoned up. We're going to take this out to the smoker grill. And today we're going to be using the Z grills again with the competition blend smoker pellets. I'll show you how it works once we get out there. So this is our Z grills. Absolutely awesome smoker grill right here. Pretty clean inside right now. This is our hopper for our pellets. It's pretty full. It'll do just fine, and we'll go ahead and we'll turn our power on and we will set our temperature to 225. So there are a couple tools that I like to use around the smoker grills. This is a temperature probe right here, pretty cool. I'll post a link to it down in the video description. It's a backup, okay? So it's a backup for the backup. This is also a temperature probe that comes with the Z grills, and it just simply plugs in and feeds right through, and all we got to worry about is the temperature probe telling us that we've reached our 165 degrees. Oh, daddy, it's looking good, man. All right, it's time to get down and dirty. I know which one has which seasoning, and we're going to test that out later on. We'll go ahead and we'll just lay these gently on the grill. Oh, baby. There we go. We're going to let this cook remember, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. So we're gonna set this and we're gonna keep an eye on our temperature gauge right there. Once one of them hits 165, we'll check the temperature in the other ones and we'll be squared away. Look at this smoke. Oh, daddy. Sometimes the meat can dry out. I use an apple cider vinegar spritzer. This is a glass bottle, really handy to have, and simply after about 30 minutes or 45 minutes, we'll just take a spritz and spray right over top of this. That way the meat does not dry out. Again, apple cider vinegar is all we need. Just use a little bit of it, just moisten the meat. That way it holds that flavor. While we're grilling, we ain't chilling, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get our foil ready. We're gonna double wrap each one of these pieces of meat after they come off the grill. So they're gonna come off at 165 degrees. We're gonna double wrap them. We're gonna add some more seasoning, so stay tuned for that. And then we're gonna stick our temperature probe back in and leave it in the grill until it reaches around 205 degrees. A little tip from Stoney Ridge, if you are going to double wrap, just simply take a corner of 2 and fold it over. So each one is a set of 2. Just like that, and that way I don't have to think anymore. Just put it on there, roll it up, good to go. You're at the 1 hour mark. Oh, and they're looking good. That's all the spritz they need, guys. Oh, man. According to my thermometer that's built into the Z-Grills, we are at the 165 mark. Let's just turn on our little confirming thermometer. Oh, daddy. Oh, yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna go ahead and take these 3 pieces of meat out and we're gonna wrap them. Guys, be sure this is delicious stuff and you want to preserve it and you wanna make sure you've got a good set of tongs and a nice sturdy spatula to scoop this stuff off. Not too hot in here. Whose mouth is watering? I know mine is. Oh, daddy, look at that. Man, that's looking good. Let's shift these guys towards the back. You're gonna start seeing the juices flow soon. Oh, baby, look at that one. That's the one with Montreal steak seasoning. And this is the one that's chipotle. Nice. We'll take these in the house and wrap them. It's times like this I wish we had smell-o-vision, man. This smells so good. So we'll start with the little guy here. We're just gonna kind of lay him over on his side. What this is gonna do is help to retain those juices. And what we're gonna put on here is some minced onion. We're just gonna kind of layer it up there. Pretty heavy on the minced onion. Just like that. And then we'll do a little bit of garlic powder. Just a sprinkle of garlic powder. And that's it. So now what we're doing is wrapping it up so it's easy to unwrap. Just like so. Fold them over, fold them over. That goes back in at 225 until we reach a center temperature of around 205. Let's show you the next one. All right, we've lost a little bit of weight. That's okay, no biggie. Again, with the minced onion, want this all in there. A little bit of garlic powder. Just a nice sprinkle of garlic powder on there. All this is gonna kind of infuse into the meat as it cooks for about another 2 hours or so. This entire cook is gonna take somewhere in the neighborhood of about 5 hours. Last but not least, the juicy Big Daddy. You can just see the juices kind of flowing out of this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with some minced onion. Ooh, we're about out of minced onion now. We'll go ahead and doll it up with a little garlic powder there. Since we ran out of minced onion, we're gonna go ahead and use a little onion powder. Fold it up, fold it over. Good to go, good to go. Consistency is key in cooking, guys. Let's get this back on the grill and we're gonna let it cook until the internal temperature reaches about 205 degrees. Again, this is about a total 5-hour cook. This is gonna take 2 to 3 more hours while I'm out doing farm work. It's okay to just go ahead and stick your probe right through your foil into the deepest part of that meat. If you're looking, you ain't cooking. right, time to give her the check. I think we're pretty close to done here, guys. Just a little confirmation. 208. Just right. Awesome. So, let's go ahead and this is a lot of meat to put on this cutting board right here. We'll go ahead, take out our temperature probe. All right. The way the Z-Grill works, we just turn this to shut down and it turns off, cycles all these wood chips through. For the reveal here, I've got 3 pans and we're gonna start with the smallest one, which I think is this guy here. What the foil does is help it to retain its moisture, and it needs to rest just a little bit before we actually eat it, but I might not be able to stand that. Okay. Oh man, here's the reveal on the smallest one. Look at that. Oh man, that looks gorgeous. Poor man's brisket. Perfect. If you're buying grass-fed, it might not be too awful poor, but it sure is delicious. Oh man, that looks so good. We're gonna let it sit for just a minute, let it rest. Oh man, that looks fantastic. Get all that good au jus over in that pan. There we go. You could just use an aluminum pan if you want, but I just prefer wrapping them. Au jus. Oh baby, look at that. Poor man's brisket. I can smell all those spices. This is the one that has that prime rib seasoning on it. So I'm all about going ahead and cutting this guy up before we serve it all, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a little taste here. Oh man. That end, that's where the flavor is, the true flavor. Let's see what that's looking like. See what our smoke ring looks like. Oh baby, look at that. Look at that smoke ring in there. Oh man. Oh, look at that. Absolutely delicious. I wish you guys could smell what I'm smelling here. Oh, the reveal. Mmm. Wow. Mmm. That has the chipotle on it. That's the chipotle one. It's got a good kick to it. Super tender, but not falling apart. So if you look, you've got floppiness, but it's not falling apart. I cut them a little bit thick because I like my cuts a little thick. We'll place this back in the au jus and we'll be consuming. Ooh, let's just do one more little piece. We might as well. Woo. Yeah, that chipotle, that 3-beer chipotle has a decent little kick, but it's not too spicy. If you don't like real spicy food, it'll be just fine. This was the smallest one, and I bet you it's the most flavorful. I don't even know how to get a plan of attack going here, so I'm just gonna cut right into it. Oh, look at that smoke. Look at that smoke right there. That smoke ring on the outside edges. That's what you're wanting, man. There'll be a link to the grill that I used and another grill that I use also. The Z-Grill is what we cooked on today, but I really like the Traeger also. The Traeger has an app and will send you the information you need via Bluetooth, so you can monitor your temperature when you're out working on your property or when you're out on the town running errands. This has the best smoke ring. Look at this. Oh man, I don't even know where to go with this. Wow, look at that smoke ring on the outside edge right there. Wow. Guys, that is the poor man's brisket, and it is fantastic. That is absolutely delicious. About a 5 to 6 hour cook right here on the smoker. Just go do your chores, come back and enjoy something absolutely fantastic. I gotta make myself a salad and I'm gonna eat this for supper. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening now and it's time to shut her down for the night, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me. Hit that like button. If you have any questions or suggestions or your favorite seasoning, post it down there in the comments section. I'd love to hear back from you. I gotta go. because my stomach is growling and I am about to starve. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm channel. If you like this kind of content, please jump in and subscribe. We'd love to have you back here on the farm with us. Take care.
Come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge.
Get this framed out right. And that is not framed out right. Come on, Brody. Good boy. Good day for grilling. Okay, I washed my hands. So good. Ah, it's so hot. It burned my finger. No burning the finger. I'm not making no faces just for the camera. Oh my goodness. That's gonna make the blooper reel. Me drooling. That's how we do the cooking on the Stoney Ridge Farm.